Okay, we now welcome on very special guest, old friend of mine, owner of 14 Chicago Bear records, which you didn't know till I just told you. It is Jay Cutler, Mr. Primetime, Mr. Fourth Quarter. What other nicknames do you have? Smokin Jay. Anything else?
I think that's it.
The sometimes confused for the bodybuilder.
Yeah.
My son actually just found him on the internet and thinks it's the wildest thing he's ever seen in his entire life.
So if you don't know what we're talking about, go do a Google image search for Jay Cutler, and you will be shocked what comes up first. I want to jump in real quick because Big Cat, when he introed you, he dropped the F word, the friend word.
Oh, yeah.
Was that over the line, or are you guys friends?
No, we're friends.
Yeah, we're friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're back together.
Yeah, we're back.
There was a moment where we weren't together, and now we're back.
We just needed, sometimes you need some space.
Right. 4 years.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Although we texted here and there. Usually I would text Jay and then he would. Jay does a really good good job of making you feel really insecure by not texting you back until like a week later. Like even this, when we're coming to New Orleans, I texted him. I was like, hey, we're coming to New Orleans. It'd be awesome if you got you on the pod. And then he talked to our friend Steven and was like, yeah, Big Cat texted me. I'm going to give that a few days.
That's a power move,
to text
though.
me back. And then text me like it was like total mid-conversation. He's like, cool, we should hang out.
Yeah, I like that.
5 days later.
Establishes dominance.
Yeah. All right, so.
I felt good about it.
Yeah. Where do you want to start? Retirement? You feeling good? Are you officially retired?
Yeah, yes.
What?
So tomorrow.
Well, I said that because I don't know if you there's no retirement papers, like you just don't have a job anymore.
I'm pretty sure there are retirement papers, aren't there?
If you're under contract, I think you have to fill something out. But if you don't have a contract or if you're not on a team, it's
over.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say 6 months from now, Sam Darnold gets mono again. Adam Gase picks up the phone. Hey Jay, $20 million 1 year, New York Jets quarterback.
Gosh, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of
$20
money.
million.
I don't know. We'd have to have a conversation.
Okay, so that sounds like half retired, half not.
Thinking about playing. Breaking news: Jay Cutler considering playing next year for the Jets.
In the case of Sam Darnold getting mono again and them throwing a ridiculous amount of money.
Yes.
Okay.
In all seriousness, did you ever consider, because like when you were getting to the end and you're like, I'm going to walk away, did you ever, there was always the rumor, oh, he'll go play in Nashville. Was that ever a thing?
No.
Not even close?
No, never even talked to him.
Did you ever think like, I always thought you'd be like, you know what, I'm going to go and just hang out and catch a nice paycheck and be a backup maybe for a couple of years and then hop in for a couple games?
Yeah, the backup thing never appealed to me because you just sit there and you have to do most of the work, but then you don't even get to play.
Right.
So I never wanted to do it.
Okay.
So it was either playing or not playing. The only time I ever thought about going to the Titans was whenever I was going to hit free agency before I signed that big deal in Chicago. Mm-hmm. And that would have been one of the times that maybe I could have ended up there. But
Right.
How sweet was it when you signed that big deal?
It was nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a life changer.
Yeah. I think I remember you told me like right before we were out and you were like, yeah, about to sign this deal. I was like, how many millions? Holy shit. And then do you think it's unfair? Well, it happens all the time in sports, but a guy signs a big deal and then gets judged based on dollars, not everything else.
Yeah. I mean, well, the quarterback position's like that. But, I mean, you look at that deal now compared to what's happening, and it's just like that's peanuts.
Yeah.
It just keeps going up and up and up and up. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I remember when that happened when you were when you got sent to Chicago.
Yeah.
You were pretty close to going to the Redskins, weren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, we were. It was because I think Jake Ham was with Washington, so they were trying to figure out a three-way. They were trying to find another team that I'd go to Washington. Someone I think would take Jason, and then some picks and stuff would get sent to Denver. But that third team never materialized, so that deal was dead. Yeah,
I remember I was psyching myself for that. I grew up a fan of the Redskins, the R word, excuse me. And I remember I was like, we could finally have a decent quarterback.
Yeah, and Shanny was gonna. He probably would have went on right away too there, so it would have been cool, but never worked out.
Do you think about that sometimes about Shanahan leaving Denver and like if what the sliding doors? You would have been the Broncos quarterback forever if Shanahan stays there. No.
I mean, you don't know, but I mean that's the direction we were headed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've talked to Mike about it, and like me and B Marsh and Tony and all those guys. Like we've talked about it before. I mean, I think we were the second rated offense in the NFL that year, and defense. I mean, a lot of injuries. I think we had 7 or 8 running backs who went through that.
Jesus.
That 08 year. And Mike was special. I mean, he was a heck of a coach. Unbelievable.
And his tanning bed in his house is pretty sick.
Tony Sheffler
it's
told
true,
us
right?
about that.
Yeah, Tony said that he's got it.
He doesn't know that.
He did say Shanahan throws the best parties before the season starts.
Oh, phenomenal parties.
And everyone just shows up to his house and he gives people like big screen TVs and shit.
Yeah, it's just to give you all kinds of stuff, and then there's like this is back before Uber, so like there was car services that would take you wherever you wanted to go after the party. He did it right. He did an unbelievable job with the players.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was he your favorite coach to play for?
That's a loaded question. Yeah, I mean probably. I mean he was amazing.
Rank the coaches you played for.
Worst, but only the 4 worst. Huh? 4 worst coaches you've ever played for. Go.
I don't know. I mean, and you just get into the league, and like that's your first experience, and it's such a good one. It's hard for somebody else to top that.
Yeah.
Was it weird playing in Denver? Like, you always hear about the altitude. Was there actually any effect throwing the ball when you get there?
I thought there was. I thought you're gaining 5 to 8 yards on a throw there, and the ball just cuts like. You'd go somewhere else, and like if you throw like a 20-yard comeback or a deep out or something, in Denver the ball just keeps sailing. It just keeps going.
How far is the farthest you could throw like at your peak?
In Denver probably high 70s.
Rocket arm.
That's sick.
Rocket arm.
Did you ever just go out and just throw a ball just to see how far it went?
Well, B. Marsh used to want to have throwing competitions all the time, and he could legit throw it like 73.
Fuck. I mean, I remember I once went out for a pass that you threw to me, and it hit me right in the face, and I was like, "Oh, that's the difference." I think you also were trying to hit me in the face as hard as you were throwing it.
Well, I think that you were saying things that you basically could be a receiver and you could catch. And
Well,
you could do all this
sound like
stuff.
Big Cat.
Well, we have a long-standing from the original that you were the first. You were actually the first celebrity on like a Barstool platform with KFC Radio, and we had the debate that there's at least one sport out there that I could beat you in.
It doesn't exist.
Right, and I disagree.
What's
I'm a
the
better
sport?
swimmer than you.
Now
Stand up.
He's got swimmer's body.
Let's look at this body. Nothing about this screams.
Get the booty.
Nothing
He's
about
got
that.
tiny
the
ass.
booty.
That helps.
You
Actually.
said I looked good yesterday.
Yeah, it was a lie.
Oh,
that's what you say to. That's what you say to people when you first see them.
You're
in a
like,
long
oh,
time.
you look good, man.
I do think the upside down triangle body helps swimming though.
I could beat
You're
you
not-
in swimming.
you're not
You're not a
cutting-
swimmer.
I don't have to be a swimmer. Look at you. You're an anchor.
Darts.
Oh, man. It is crazy. Like even when you had when the clip went viral of you playing basketball, just dunking on a bunch of 5'5" white boys in Indiana, and it's like, oh yeah, these guys, they're athletes of a different caliber. Can you still dunk?
Yeah.
Like 100%. Like no. Like when was the last time you dunked?
I play basketball 3 times a week now.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, like in a rec league?
With some old guys that used to play at Vandy, and then their high school coach near me.
What's your game?
More of probably drive, slasher, get some assists, some rebounds.
Okay. You shoot the 3?
No, we've got some dudes that just light it up.
Okay.
It's kind of shocking how well these guys can shoot.
Yes. Yeah. When you get a real good shooter, you're like, okay, you just never miss.
Yeah.
You play defense?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Big team guy.
You charge guy? You
slap
take a lot of
the floor?
charges?
No, I'm not taking any charges.
You slap the floor for sure. 100% slap the floor.
I don't know if you saw this morning, but Tony Romo, they're rumoring that he's going to get 10 to 14 million
For ESPN?
to be in the booth. Yeah.
Yes.
Do you regret not taking that gig on Fox and being like, hey, this could be me?
No, because I got paid more to go play in Miami
Yeah, good point.
that year.
Are you thinking about it though? Maybe going into the booth at some point, or is that ship sailed because you went? They're going to be like, well, if he decides to go in the booth, he's just going to go back and play or something.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go back and play, so I think that ship sailed for sure. But going back in the booth is something I've definitely thought about and considered, and maybe some meetings coming up here soon.
Ooh,
okay.
Okay, with who? Do you want us to
I
be
don't
your
know.
agents?
No,
We could do it.
You think?
Yes,
Like, for sure.
absolutely.
What's your negotiation?
I could get you on
tactics
Cartoon
here?
Network.
What would I want to do that for?
I don't know. That's just the only in that I have in the business.
We would so we'd probably do a big PowerPoint of Jay Cutler, the bodybuilder, and have everyone look at that. It's
a good start.
Yeah,
It's a
then
great
we'd be like, you want this guy?
My kids would think it's great.
Yeah, right. So isn't that like once you have like a bunch of kids, it's like you're just doing it for your kids. Like when Eddie Murphy makes like a bunch of Shrek movies and all that stuff. So we're just doing it for them. So we're like, hey, he's kid friendly. He can lift a lot. He can still dunk.
Yep.
And
we include the picture of your ass, something for the ladies.
yeah,
Okay.
You're gonna be incredibly honest. Would you?
Okay.
In all honesty, going to the booth.
Yeah.
When everyone asked me like, "Do you think he's gonna be good?" I was like, "If he's honest, he's gonna be great." Do you think you would have been able to? Because it's always tough to criticize other guys.
Yeah, there's that fine line there. I think I could do it. You just have to kind of find a way to do it so it's not, that guy sucks.
Right, right, and be like at least have some basis behind what you're saying.
Yeah.
Although that would be kind of refreshing to just have a commentator be like, that guy is trash.
Right,
Absolute
right.
garbage.
Who's your favorite quarterback right now
Ooh.
to watch?
Still love watching Aaron.
I don't like that you guys have become friends, by the way. You guys have. You texting buddies. And we were joking last night. You were like, when we said we want to get Rodgers on the pod.
Yeah, I think you're just mad because he hasn't done your pod yet. Correct. I think that's what.
Well, and also
that's
just
where it
beats
comes
the
from.
Bears every year. But yeah, that would be part of it. But yeah, I would say if he did the pod, it would probably soften it a little.
Soften the blow.
And you said you're like, oh, we can get him.
I think we can get him. We can try to get him. We might not get him.
I don't like that you text him.
Huh?
Can you send, just lie
You
to
want me
us
to
and
send
tell
it-
us you're going
Just
to
be like,
text him?
congrats on the game.
You mean to send? Oh, I sent it last night. You want me to just take like a picture of you guys and
Yeah,
send it to
yeah,
him?
send me a text right now.
Yeah.
Like, do you feel like
A picture.
This is your best?
Yes,
Absolutely.
100%.
Doesn't get
This
any better
is-
than
This
this.
is how it looks. Be like,
Hey, let me pick up my drink.
hold on, let me write a quick note saying the line was bullshit.
I don't
The
know.
refs gave you that game. He's not taking a picture, I guarantee you that.
I guarantee I am. Just take a picture.
Okay.
And this is the new camera, so you guys look great.
Oh,
awesome.
nice. I got that too. Nice flex. You got the iPhone 10. I already
You're
smashed
giving me
mine.
tryptophobia. I'm afraid of all those holes.
What was the worst game? Like when you look back, you're like, "Fuck, I don't miss that." We were through the Giants game where you got sacked. I think it was 9 or 10 times.
The first half.
It was so bad.
The first
the
half.
Saints
Sacked
game.
9 times in the
It
first
was
half?
so bad.
It's impressive.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It's hard to
yes.
do that.
Yes. Yes.
Like you almost have to try.
Right.
Like, hey guys, ready? Don't block him. Don't block him. Ready? Break. Let's do this.
So was it that one, or was it the Saints game where Mike Martz was calling 7-step drops when you were no offensive line in the dome?
I'll give it to Mike. He had no conscience. I mean, you got to respect it. Like, I mean, he was brilliant too. I mean, he was unbelievably smart. But he went into the game and he was literally playing Madden.
With human beings.
Yes, with human beings. Like it was just chess pieces.
He's like, why is this not working?
Yeah.
Let's run 4 verts.
Exactly. He's like, all right, play up A. Go.
Did you have like a conversation with him at halftime and you're like, hey man, maybe like get me a tight end to chip every now and
Oh,
then?
he traded the tight end.
Yeah. Did you hear me say he had no conscience?
Yeah.
Like he's dialing it up.
Yeah.
Get ready. He always thought the next play was the one.
I kind of like
That's a
that.
good attitude.
So
Yeah.
do I. I mean, you got to respect it.
Yeah, just fuck it.
Yeah.
The next play is going to be the one that hits.
He told me one time, we were talking about a play and stuff, and he's like, "Hey, I just take 7 steps and just throw it right there." And I go, "Mike, I don't know how I feel about that." He goes, "Hey, if the receiver's not there, it's not going to be your fault." I'm like, "It kind of is, though. It is. Like you don't have an interception thing in your total after the game. Like it's going to be my fault." He's like, "He'll be there, though." I'm like, "I don't think he's going to be there." He's like, "Let's just call it and you just throw it right there, and we'll just see what happens."
That's awesome.
And then it was probably an interception.
Yeah, just hit the safety right there. Like a punt.
Shit. What about the time that you yelled at him from the huddle? I think that was against the Vikings. I think it was at that game.
Yeah.
It's Donovan McNabb's like last game basically, or the end of his career. What happened after that when you like get back in the locker room? You're like, hey,
Mike
man.
was always super cool. I mean,
Really?
he was super cool. He's got it. He's like, I get it. Like it's tough, like we're gonna have disagreements. But I was cool with Mike. I really liked him.
What about Mike Tice?
I liked Mike Tice. We never had issues. I got in trouble that one time
When you walked away from
in
him.
Dallas, but that thing got blown up because I told him. He sat beside me and I go, "Hey, bro, I just need a minute," and he was like, "No problem," and I got up and walked off.
Got it.
So
So
then-
they
But you
don't
don't
show
see
that
that
part.
on TV.
They didn't say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, perception's reality, so it is what it is.
Did you ever, when you were playing, were you thinking that, like, shit, the camera's on me right now? Like, they're definitely, because you were the king of, like, people would just judge every single body language, everything that was going on.
For a little while, I was, like, after the NFC Championship game, like, that next year, I was a little bit more in tune to it, because, like, Fox would come in and they would be like, hey, they wouldn't tell us this, but we knew, like, there's a camera on you basically anytime you're on the sideline. It's like, well, damn, like, what? That's ridiculous. Like, I can't even do anything at that point. So I think that next year I was I tried to be aware of it. But then it just got to a point where I was like, I mean, this is dumb. Like, I've got to have some sort of emotions here. I've got to be able to do what I need to do.
Right.
So I think at that point I was like, the hell with it.
Let's talk about that NFC Championship game real quick, even though it's bad memories. The one thing that always struck me is, like, everyone questioned your toughness when we just talked about getting sacked 9 times or in Vanderbilt getting the shit kicked out of you in the SEC. Was that weird when you're like, because I know you and I think a lot of people, like, you know, some guys in the locker room didn't really have your back. Yeah. But was it weird to have everyone be like, he could have kept on playing when it was, I mean,
I've played through some crazy stuff. I've done,
like what?
I mean, concussions, broken stuff. I mean, it just is what it is. So I think for me to have that part questioned, I mean, that hurt. I mean, that was tough. That was a tough one to swallow. I mean, to say that, you know, I wasn't good or, you know, like anything else, like I'm fine with that. Like maybe some truth to that. But to say that I just didn't want to play anymore, I mean, come on, guys.
And you tried to play with the knee, right? I can't remember. At what point was it? Right after halftime?
It was right before halftime. We went in, taped it up, and I went out there and I tried to throw. I think I threw like one ball. My knee literally just like buckled and it went straight in the ground.
Fuck. And then Todd Collins and Caleb Haney.
Yeah. So then they're like, I was like, well, I can't. I don't think I can throw. I don't think I can run. And then they put him in, and then that's where it gets tricky. Like, do I just stay on the sideline? Do you take me? I think now they probably take you in, and you know, you can't just leave a lame duck sitting out there.
Right. Carson Wentz was in the locker room when he got concussed.
Exactly.
He didn't come back, and it also didn't help that you had that big coat.
Well, it was like 3 degrees.
I know, but that coat, like, that was part of the. It actually was good that it wasn't like real full Twitter, because then it would have been a total meme. But that big coat didn't help.
Yeah, it was like double X whatever Tom Brady wears.
Right.
That big thing. You looked like 3 small Jay Cutlers and a trench coat.
Yeah, like trying to sneak into a movie.
Yeah, I needed to be the other Jay Cutler at that point.
Yeah,
he would have filled it out.
Yes. Yeah.
So when you're mic'd up during a game, you were just talking about like being conscious a little bit of the cameras on you. When you're mic'd up during a game, are you thinking about that at all?
I boycotted being mic'd up.
You can do that?
I don't know. I did it.
They'd come to you just like, nope.
Yeah, they'd be like, no. And then they'd be like, well, can you just pick a game? And I would be like, okay. So I would pick one of the last 2 games in the season. And then once we got to that point, if you know, we were out of it, or if we were fighting for, you know, playoffs or something, I'd be like, if we were out of it, I'd be like, it doesn't even matter. Like, we're out of it. Like, you don't even want to use me. Use somebody else. And then if we were fighting for, if the game mattered, I'd be like, you know, this is a big game. I don't want that thing on me. This is, you know, I can't do it.
Future Jay, that's actually genius.
So then the next year they come back like, hey, they want to mic you up like early in the season. I'm like, no. But then I got to a point where I was like, well, I think it's a safety issue now, guys. Because it's a big battery pack, and they just put it like, just tape it to the back of your shoulder pads. And I'm like, I'm getting my head knocked around out here. Now you want to put another battery on my back? Right. I don't feel good about this.
Yeah.
So then that's another way I boycotted it.
I like that. I like that a lot. So can we? But
I don't understand like why it's so big, and I also don't understand the headset situation. Like, we can FaceTime China, but we have a hard time getting these
calls
headsets
in.
These calls in.
It's true. On the sideline messing.
Yeah, we got these battery packs, these big like speakers from 1973. It's like, what? I don't understand, why can't let's just get some AirPods in here and do this.
Did you feel bad for Sam Darnold when he had the seeing ghost thing?
Yeah,
I'm sure you've been in that spot where I think everything you're looking at, you can't.
I've said it on the side, especially when you're young. You're processing, you're figuring things out, and I've probably said that before too. I'm like, I'm seeing 1,000 things out here, and none of them are probably legit. So I think he was just being honest, and it just got blown out of proportion.
It's really no-win situation being a quarterback and getting mic'd up. Like, what's the best that's going to come out of it?
Right.
You say something, you're like, yeah, let's go.
That's Russell Wilson, yeah.
And I talked to Dal, because he's in the Jets. Like, why did you guys, like, that's the situation. Like, why did you pick that game?
Right. Against the Patriots,
was it his
Monday
first
Night
game
Football.
back? It was early.
It might not have been his first game back, but it was against the Patriots when their defense was absolutely rolling on Monday Night Football.
Mm-hmm. Like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, do it like when you're playing Miami, like in Miami or something.
Right. Can we do the don't care story? Is it true? I think we confirmed it on the KFC radio, but let's do it again.
Yeah, that's fine.
So you're in Wrigley. You're probably like first or second year with the Bears.
Yeah.
You're at a urinal at a bar in Wrigleyville, and some kid comes up to you at the urinal. He's like, "Hey, Jay, I went to Vanderbilt."
Yeah, I don't know. Here's the thing, and I don't remember what we said on the radio. But my stance has lately when I hear that story is, I can't say it didn't happen, but I can't say it did happen either.
So it sounds like you.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like, it 100% could be very true.
So, like, hypothetically, if somebody were to say that to you at a urinal right now, your reaction might be, don't care.
I mean, it depends. Like, right now, in this instance right now, like the state of mind I'm in right now, probably not. I'd be like, that's cool.
Yeah, like, cool, dude.
It sounded much different than don't care. It sounded like you really cared.
Tell me more about your poli-sci degree.
Yeah. In Wrigleyville, and Saturday at 5:00 after we've been there for 8 hours. I mean, it's a great possibility to happen. Right?
Do you regret not going to a real SEC school?
I think that Vandy's in the SEC.
Oh, there.
Is that questionable too?
I'll have to check.
So you think Vandy's better than every Big Ten team because they're in the SEC?
At this moment, no. There's been years, yes.
Ooh.
It's a different brand of football.
Yeah. You wanted to go to Notre Dame, right?
I did.
And they didn't recruit you?
No.
That's crazy.
No, they haven't recruited any. They don't really recruit right there,
right,
in the Midwest that much.
Which is crazy because it's like you're in Indiana.
It's your backyard.
It would think that. Where else were you considering?
Purdue, but they wanted me to play safety.
Okay, that's wild.
That's crazy.
Illinois.
Mac Brown wouldn't even
like
dream
a
of that.
You're like 6'4"?
No, I grew in college. I was like 6'2" at this point.
Okay.
Illinois, Ron Turner was there.
Okay.
And they offered me. I committed. And then they called me like a week later and they said, this kid from California, he wants to come. We want you to take the first semester off and then come in January. I was like, well, I'm not doing that.
Right.
And then Vandy called, and I was like, well, I've got nothing else going on.
And so when you're at Vandy,
have I never told you the story of how I ended up at Vandy?
No.
Oh gosh. So it's basketball season, and it's early January, and I get a call. I'm in school, and they do the intercom thing. It's like, Jay Cutler, come to the office. I'm like, what's happening now? Get to the office, and like, hey, the AD wants to talk to you. So I go down there, and he's like, hey, Vandy called. They want to talk to you. So, I get on the phone with them, and they're like, hey, we just watched your tape. We're kind of cleaning up the rest of our recruiting. We like it, but we don't think you can play tight end in the SEC. I was like, well, it's fine. I don't even play tight end. And he was like, well, who is this? And I, told him my name. And he's like, hey, all right, well, yeah, we see your tape. We'll watch it. We'll call you back here in a little bit. I'm like, okay. Hang up the phone. I'm like, look at him. I'm like, they're not calling. Can I go back to class now? And he's like, yeah. So go back to class. Literally 3 hours later, same thing. Get down there. And he's like, hey, they're on the phone. And I talked to him like, hey, we love the tape. We want you to come to Vandy. We have a scholarship for you, but we need to know by the end of the day. I was like, why? He's like, well, we got these two other people. I think there were two scholarships left. There were like 3 kids out there that they were just waiting on. He's like, whoever gets them first gets them.
It's crazy. You're like, you thought I was a tight end 6 hours ago.
Yeah, no, right. Man. But I mean, I don't even know where Vandy is. Because I'm Southern Indiana, Big Ten country. I'm like, where is Vandy? I have no idea. So I look at the AD, I'm like, hey, I got to go home. I got to, figure this out. I got to talk to my dad. He's like, all right. So I go home, and that's like the dial-up internet thing. So I get on the dial-up internet, it's making all those noises, and I'm like, Vandy, looking at it. Nashville. I'm like, where the hell's Nashville? Trying to figure this out. And I call my dad, and I tell him, he's like, oh, you're going. And I'm like, I don't even know where this place is. He's like, you're going. Just tell him, just call him back and tell him you're going.
Jack was like, I don't have to pay for college.
Yeah, he's like, you're going. Like, call him back. Like,
he saw what tuition is at Vanderbilt. He's like, yes, we accept.
Yes.
He'll play safety. Yes. He'll be a kicker. He doesn't care.
I did a little bit more research. Whatever a 17-year-old kid could do at that point. Called him back. I'm like, all right, I'm in. let's do this.
That's awesome.
And then like 2 weeks later, went down for a visit and stuff, and the rest is history.
At what point when you're at Vandy were you like, oh fuck, I'm gonna be a draft pick, like, and a high one too? Because you just told the story. You're a tight end 1 second. You're now at Vandy.
Yeah.
And you're not like you probably weren't. I would assume thinking like I'm gonna be an NFL quarterback.
No, I never like. Me and Steven were talking about it yesterday. Like growing up, I never watched much NFL football. It was always college football. It was more college athletics. And I mean, now I feel like all I watch is NFL, a little bit of college, and my kids watch NFL now. So it's kind of bizarre. But growing up, it was like just get to college and keep playing. It was more just keep playing ball.
Right.
And whatever steps happen, they happen. But it was never. I don't think was ever like I'm making the NFL. I'm going to do this. This is going to happen. It was always just keep playing. Like I just want to keep playing ball somewhere.
So then, like what?
So
like
then,
2 years.
Yeah. So I think probably after my sophomore year, we started getting a little bit of traction. Going into my junior year, and I was like, this is a possibility. We got a shot here. And then before my senior year, I was like, we can make a run. We can do this. And then when I got to I did the combine and did Senior Bowl and saw like what these other guys like in person, what they could do. I was like, oh, we can.
You got this.
I got this.
And then you had the draft day. Do you look back at your draft day picture with the oversized shirt and the haircut, and you're like, ugh.
Oh, I felt great.
You looked awesome.
Yeah. I crushed that day.
Were you?
I mean, it's 2006, so different times.
That was a hell of a draft too, right? That was Matt Leinart, Vince Young.
We now have had
Reggie
all three
Bush,
of those quarterbacks
all the
on the show.
quarterbacks. That's right.
Leinart
completed the triumvirate.
Vince and me.
Yeah.
It was a good class. It was fun. Arizona called me because they were at 10. Because everyone knew that Vince was going to go to Titans, and I think I don't know what the rule is now, but it was basically like unlimited. The Titans could bring me in because I was within so many miles. So I went down there and threw 3 times or so for those guys and fished. And finally, the last time, I mean, I'm literally like throwing all my football knowledge I've ever known like on this board, and I'm drawing up like option plays. And I remember looking at fish and going like, why am I here? Like, you guys are drafting Vince. Everyone knows you're drafting Vince. He's like, yeah, I mean, we are. We're just doing it.
I think
he's like,
Fisher
was just
wanted
bored.
you though,
Yeah.
right? It was an owner thing, right?
Yeah, it was an owner thing. Yeah,
it was an owner thing. That he was like, we got to take Vince Young.
But I think I remember the last time we did the board, and then we went through it in the bubble again, and I'd thrown at least twice there already, and I was pissed off about it because I was like, this is dumb. Like we're wasting everyone's time. And I remember I threw like 10 balls, literally like seeing if I could throw it through these guys, these receivers, just throwing missiles at them.
The big cat route.
The big cat route. Yeah.
I think a lot of people would be interested to know like how this bromance began, because I honestly don't really know like what the start of it was. How did you guys meet each other?
Well, Jay's was always a longtime Stoolian fan of Barstool, and I actually no joke owe a lot to Jay, because back in the day when we were starting Barstool Chicago, we had no money as a company, and I remember I said to Dave, we got to make this shirt.
Yeah.
We got to put the Chicago flag with the stools. It will sell like hotcakes. And he's like, I don't know. It was back when shipping shirts took a month.
Yeah.
So I went and had 3 of them handmade and got them to Jay, and Jay wore it at a press conference. And that was our first big moment for Barstool Chicago.
Yeah, I remember whenever Barstool was kind of up and rolling, and back then it was more just the written stuff with a picture, a video, and stuff. And you really got to I feel like you really got to feel whoever was writing, their writing style and stuff. And we would always see even some of the guys when Big Cat started doing it, this dude's funny, he gets it. And then I don't know how we. I think it was,
I can't remember what the exact connection. I remember I met Chewy in the halftime of a Bears game and gave him the shirts.
Yeah.
And then we started hanging out from there.
I know, but how did we first track you down?
I can't remember exactly. Oh, that's a good question. Fuck.
Do you guys remember? Yeah. Oh, you do?
Who?
Because there was the guy before you.
Oh, yeah, Neil. Yeah.
The Jordan guy.
Yeah.
And we brought him to your charity event.
That's right, the charity event.
To reach out to him.
Yes.
And he got canned, and I think me and you started messaging.
Yes, because we would do your charity event every year, and then that started. And it was huge because it's like the starting quarterback for Chicago Bears is wearing our shirt and like a fan of ours. And now, was it Greg Olson who got you into Barstool? Because he claims that.
It could be.
Yeah.
I think we found it. I'll give him credit. We might have found it at kind of similar times.
But it was you and Greg, and I'm trying to think. There's maybe a couple other, but like, Ryan Whitney. Like, there's basically 3 or 4 guys in like the early days who were pro athletes who were like, these guys are funny.
Yeah.
And it was so fucking huge.
Yeah, I mean, you guys took it and just skyrocketed.
Yeah, and then
Big Cat made a lot of money selling the Cutler shirts and the Marlboro cigarettes.
the Marlboro
Did he ever give
cigarettes
you a
one?
taste? Did he give you
That one
any
got
of that
cease
money?
and desisted. That one got taken down. The Marlboro one. That was a great shirt.
I have one.
Yeah, you have one. I'll give you some more. I actually
good.
think we did a limited release. We had the Dicka shirt that he wore at a press conference.
That was a good one.
Yeah, we were, and then we became friends, and like we would hang out, probably once a month, and then I said I would take Andy Dalton over him. I had the flu. I was doing. This was back when I had to like really grind. I remember
You're playing hurt, yeah.
It was Ben Finfer was hosting 8 to 9 p.m. on ESPN 1000, and they're like, "Hey, can you come in and?"
So you're blaming?
No.
You were fatigued?
Blaming
He
the
was
flu.
like, "Can you do this?" And I was like, "It was a point in my career where it's like, you don't say no to anything. Like,
Yeah,
you
dude.
tell me where, I'll be there.
there.
I'm doing it."
Yeah.
I was like so sick. I pounded 2 Red Bulls and 2 Dayquils.
I mean, look at you now. You
You
just wear jumpsuits and you call the shots.
I got it made. And some caller called in and was like, "Would you take Dalton or Cutler?" And Andy was like 5 years younger, and I was like, given everything, I'd probably take Dalton right now. Went home, went to sleep, slept till like noon because I was so sick. Woke up, and there was a bunch of text messages being like, "Hey, Big Cat, way to go, dude! Like you're just gonna take Dalton over Cutler." Jay never said it. Jay, to his credit, he never was like, "Fuck you, dude." It was the rest of his crew that are loyal, and they're like, "What's your problem?" And that was kind of it. For a while.
Yeah, we'll take a break.
Yeah, we went through a break and now we're back. But it was always like, I mean, it was, it actually taught me a important lesson too, because it was tough, I think, for you too. Like, we were legitimate friends, but I also had to talk about the Bears. And when the Bears went through bad times, it was like, I can't.
And there was some dark times.
Right. And and people always said I didn't criticize you at all. And I still had to at times. And it was like, it was a tough relationship to have at like some dark times. So I think
Romeo and Juliet story.
we're
Two
back.
star-crossed lovers.
We're back. We always had a good time together.
Yeah, that's nice. I like
did.
that. That's really
Yeah,
romantic.
it's good
guys.
to be back. It's
It
good
is
to be back.
It feels good.
I'll probably be out in like 2 years again, but that's fine.
I mean,
It goes in cycles.
At this rate,
Any
probably
good
2
relationship
weeks.
does, though. You're hot and you're cold.
Yeah, right.
You have to enjoy the ups when they're up.
You're right. And yeah.
You brought it up a second ago, like in the middle of a rough season. That's got to feel just so demoralizing looking at the calendar and being like, it's October, like the second week in October, and this is going to get worse before it gets better.
Oh, yeah, we're going down a dark road here, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you're in a season like that and you know that there's no hope and there's no reinforcements coming, it's soul crushing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a couple, I mean, like the Tressman thing, and I know you've always been like publicly very nice about Mark, but like that one just kind of fell apart, and it fell apart in like the blink of an eye.
Like that.
It was crazy.
On paper, you looked at that team. I think we were talking about it yesterday. Because we saw Marty. You had Marty, you had Alshon, you had B. Marsh, you had Forte. Offensive line wasn't bad. So on paper, it looked legit. But I think what we ran into is you had a lot of different personalities there, and you had some older guys too that were, I'm not gonna say set in their ways, but you have to be able to manage those in the right way, and I think that's where it kind of lost traction of just being able to deal with everybody and keeping everyone focused and keeping everyone on the same track.
Do you have any regrets with like being the leader of a locker room and maybe not doing enough or anything during your career?
Yeah, I mean that one was tough because I think once you lose the locker room with the way that we lost that locker room, from the top down, I think it almost gets pitted, the guys versus management and coaches, and to step in the middle of that, I think is really risky sometimes.
Right.
Because now you're positioning yourself in a weird place. Like
Right.
who's back? Who has your back, and which side are you on? So you kind of almost have to pick pick a side.
Yeah.
Which is rough. I mean, especially when everyone's on the same team. Everyone should have the same goals in mind. But the two parties see it completely different, and and that's hard.
Yeah.
When you got into the league, Plummer was the starting quarterback, right?
Yeah,
Jay Plum.
Yeah.
He seems like an awesome guy.
He was awesome.
He seems like a good guy to kind of learn from. But was that awkward at all? Like being the guy that the franchise is pinning their future on. You come in and there's an established veteran that's ahead of you.
Yeah, it was weird. But I thought Jake handled it the best way possible. I mean, he was always so great with me. He was cool as hell. He helped me. I remember we came in like May, and that's back when you just had OTAs, and it was a little bit longer. So I think 3 weeks in, he's like, "Hey, I'm going out of town," and that's when me and Tony were running. He was like, "Hey, can you guys watch my house?" And looking back at it, I think it was like a test. We failed the hell out of it. So
and Tony Scheffler, 23 3 years old.
So we go to his house. We end up having a huge party at his house. We're in his pool. We got people everywhere. Next morning, we're trying to clean it up. I'm like, what? Looking back, I'm like, this is the dumbest thing we could have done. Just go over. Don't even watch his house. Just be like, I'm leaving town too, but I can't do it.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Watch my house.
It was a test.
Did you have to?
It was a test.
Did he have a dog that you had to let out, or plants that needed to be? He was just staying in my house.
I hope he didn't have a dog. It doesn't sound like you watched it.
Yeah, I don't remember that. All I remember is as soon as he said that to us, just going to Tony and be like, "You're never gonna guess what we get to do this weekend." And it was an awesome house.
Yeah,
you guys broke shit trying to fix it before he gets back. Real quick,
vacuuming. We got trash bags everywhere. Picking up random clothes.
What about your rivalry with Phil Rivers? One of the best clips when you guys were jawing at each other on the sideline.
Yeah.
Have you still talked to Phil at all or anything?
I never had Phil's numbers. I never talked to him. I respect the hell out of his game. I mean, what he's done.
Yeah. I mean, he's a hilarious guy. That was a great answer by you, because you're just like, yes, Phil Rivers is a quarterback.
I respect the fact that we have the same job.
He's number 17.
Yeah. He has a lot of kids.
He's got an army of
kids, and he's doing it.
See, I kind of feel bad for you, because as a quarterback, as a player who's playing the game, you didn't get to actually watch Monday Night Football on TV. Because when it was you and him yelling at each other, it was amazing television, because they were cutting right back and forth. I'm sure he was saying the meanest stuff, but in the nicest language possible.
Dang it, Jay!
You mother freaker!
I don't think he'd say that.
No. Gracious to Pete.
Yeah.
Did Aaron text back?
No, not
you
yet.
didn't text him.
Huh?
You don't know way you texted him.
I did text him. I just texted him the picture. I didn't even put a caption on it.
He's going to be like, who the fuck are these guys? Oh, these are the guys that interview my girlfriend every now and then and say weird shit.
They constantly talk to my girlfriend about jack-off crystals.
That's going to be fun. What year do you look back on?
Did you see the house that they bought?
Yes.
Yeah, he's broke now.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Cash. Crazy. Yes.
Maybe we can do the interview there and just stay. Maybe we can house sit that one.
Yeah. How long do you think we could live in Aaron Rodgers' house without him finding us?
Weeks.
Yes.
Maybe longer.
That would be actually fantastic. If we just
that's
spotted up there.
That's the best way to get the interview.
I think so.
You can start practicing.
Yep. I'll just sleep
Get
on
fit.
the bottom of the pool. Yeah.
Get fit.
I would wreck you, and we'll do it. Do you have a pool at your house?
Yeah.
Okay. So
perfect. Yeah, 4.
I just invited myself over, and we will race.
Okay. How far are we racing?
Once back and forth, and if I lose that, we'll do an underwater race, because I'm good at that as well.
Yeah, you are an anchor, so you
Yes,
spend those times underwater.
And if I lose that, we'll do an underwater race in jeans. I won that as well at the Jaguars pool.
Why jeans?
I don't know. We just did it, and it was stupid. But
Who did you race?
These two guys.
Yeah. It was in the Jaguars stadium, so they have that pool that overlooks the field.
I mean, I can see you not being good at swimming.
No, I'm an
He's looking at
excellent
PFT
swimmer.
right now.
I'm
Not
an
me.
excellent swimmer.
Not me.
Yeah, you're not gonna outswim me.
Yes, I will. I will outswim you
No.
easily. And if I have to,
your
I'll
stroke?
die in the pool.
What's your stroke?
We'll do every stroke.
Okay.
You do the sideways stroke. What's that called?
That's not a real stroke.
Yeah,
not
it
a
is.
real
The
stroke.
side
It's not.
stroke.
Are you
The
talking about
side
the
stroke.
dying seal?
We'll do doggy paddle. We'll do breaststroke.
Not a real stroke.
We'll do backstroke.
Okay.
We'll do freestyle.
Okay.
We'll do underwater.
Butterfly?
What is it? A medley?
Yeah, we'll do everything.
Okay.
I got this. I'm not worried about
I actually
Did you
agree.
swim in high school? Were you on the swim
this.
team?
No, I'm just a very good swimmer.
I agree with his theory, though, that he is better than like everyone has something that they're the best at in the world.
What's that for you?
Kicking. I'm a field goal kicker.
He could kick better than you.
I can kick back. Oh, easily. What's your long?
What is that like code for something?
No, what's your longest field goal that you've
What's
ever
your longest
kicked?
field goal?
I'm not a kicker.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Exactly. So I'm better than you.
Exactly.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I can kick 47 yards.
Exactly.
What about 48?
Nope.
So I need to kick a 48-yard field
That's
goal to beat
all you
you.
have to do to beat me. I'm a 47-yard specialist. Only 47 yards.
I mean, give me a little bit of time. I think I can kick a 48-yarder.
Who's the best kicker you ever played with?
Not you.
You haven't played with me yet.
Robbie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not an insult though. That Robbie Gold's a better. I will cede that point to you.
If an NFL team was like, hey, we can guarantee everything you kick will be under 30 yards, what do you think your percentage would be in the NFL?
96%.
What?
Under 30 yards? Easily. I'm trying out for the
get
XFL
blocked?
this week.
You wouldn't get blocked?
How many steps? Can we see your approach and everything?
You want to see it?
Yeah.
I'll show you my approach.
We got a lot of tape, too. We got a lot of tape. Here's PFT's getting up.
Huh? Yeah.
All right. I want it right here.
Okay.
PFT's
Gotcha.
stepping back.
Laces out.
Here he goes.
Actually, laces out isn't that big of a deal. A good kicker should be able to make it. That's when laces go off to the side.
Okay. Go
That's
ahead.
when it really fucks you up.
Boom.
That was a good kick. That looked good.
I will give
That
you
was
guys.
right
I
down the
will
middle.
give you guys this. Your confidence is
Great.
Yes. It's on par.
It's all about the confidence.
So it's hard for me to doubt it. But looking at you
We
both,
exude it.
looking at you both,
I know what you're saying.
Some doubt creeps in. a
I
little
look
bit.
too masculine to be a kicker, is what you're thinking. I look like too good of an athlete.
You look at us and you're like, how do these guys fail all the way upward to here?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Like you guys literally just fell off a building and landed here.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Sometimes it feels like that. You wore one shirt and then I landed here.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the like condensed version of it right there. Let's play a headline grab. Ready for this?
Sure.
Headline grab. Jay Cutler gives what type of advice to Mitch Trubisky?
Oh goodness.
This is a good headline grab.
I don't think it's gonna be good.
No, it's going to be good.
Don't read anything.
Okay.
But he's reading this right now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Stop reading is your advice to Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah.
You go underground here, bud.
Yeah. Were there times, because I feel like that happens where everyone says, oh yeah, I don't read anything. But you would still.
Well, someone's going to tell you
Right.
what's happening, and you have to be aware because you have to do a press conference. So someone's going to ask you something of what's happening.
Right.
Or someone's going to ask you a question, hey, so-and-so said this. So you have to be aware. You have to know what's going on.
How much does that suck to have to like willfully be like told, all right, give me the bad news?
Yeah, like tell me what's going to happen. How am I about to get punched in the face right now?
Right.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So
And that's the problem. I think for a young guy like him and being in Chicago, it's a tough town. Expectations were huge. So I think you watch some of his press conferences and stuff, and you could tell it really bothered him sometimes.
Yeah.
I think.
Yes.
And whether that affects him, I don't know. I don't know how it affects him. It has to somehow.
Right.
But the more he can get away from all that stuff, I think the better for him going forward.
That's a really interesting point, though, because if you're the quarterback and there are all these narratives surrounding you and surrounding the team, it's not good for you to listen to those. It's not good for you to listen to sports talk radio. But at the same time, you know that the other guys are hearing it too. So you have to know what they're thinking if you want to be able to lead them effectively.
Oh, absolutely. You have to know. You got to know where the arrows are coming from.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't go online and find this stuff, but their PR guy before a press conference, they'll be like, all right, what do I need to know? And he gives you the rundown, like they're saying this, they're saying this, they're saying this.
Big Cat said Andy Dalton's better.
Yeah,
than you.
Big Cat said Andy Dalton's better. So you got to know.
I was definitely on the cheat sheet that morning. Who do you hate the most in Chicago media?
I didn't hate any of them, like personally. I just felt. I think it's probably still that way. There's just a negative. It's just a negative vibe to them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they would much rather. I feel like they thrive like whenever a season happens like that versus they go 13-3.
The Mark Trestman clown show season when everything just fell apart. Yeah. I agree with that. There are some people in the media. It's not everyone in the media.
No,
but
not
there's some
everyone
people
at
in the media who it feels like they're almost rooting for the Bears
To fail.
to fall apart
Yeah.
just so that they can
just write their stories and just crush them.
Right, because it's better to fall apart than finish 8-8.
Yeah.
That does seem like a Jay Mariotti special.
Yeah.
Just like once he shows up in your locker room, you know nothing good's happening.
Yes.
The wheels have fallen off.
Do you have a
guys.
list of people who like, even it could be national, not Chicago, but do you have a list? You don't have to say the name. Do you have a list of people you're like, oh yeah, that guy, I remember?
No. I mean, I feel like there was, I don't want to say this, but there was some of those years that were so bad that everyone was talking bad about us. So it would be a notebook.
Yeah.
If I kept track.
Right.
It
would just be, like an encyclopedia.
Yeah. Like, anyone that's ever written about the Bears at some point probably crushed me and them.
Yes.
Did you like the Smokin Jay Cutler stuff? The cigarette photo?
I didn't mind it. We never. I don't think we ever really told anyone to stop doing it. People have sold stuff, and there's things everywhere, and we never really went after anybody.
And you leaned into it with the picture that I took at your 30th birthday party, where he was dressed up like it was an 80s theme party, right? And that was like he leaned into it by posting. He posted a picture of him fake smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
And the internet went wild for it. It was a funny meme. I mean, your face is perfect for people. There are a lot of people who think you actually do like smoke 2 packs a day.
I know.
Have you ever smoked?
No. I don't smoke at all.
Really?
No.
I photoshopped a cigarette into your ass in the naked picture that got put online. It's very funny.
Why'd you do that?
Because I got to caption it Jay Butler, and everyone thought that was funny.
That's pretty good.
People laughed at that?
You gotta
Yeah,
admit,
some
that's
people
pretty
did.
fucking good.
I don't think
No, Jay
Okay,
Butler.
you write a
It's
new
your
caption
butt.
for your ass.
that's not my thing though. But I don't.
See, I'm better at writing captions for your own ass than you are.
That's not an athletic event.
That's probably true.
Yeah, you don't know. The Olympics are hurting for events.
Are
they
they?
might add that, like
Yeah, it'd be
captions.
like us
butt
versus
captions.
They do.
Fuck Jerry.
I do want to get a team together for the Olympics. They have I think it's handball, but it's basically
Yes.
like a little ball that you throw around and then throw into a goal. So it's like soccer, indoor soccer with a ball that you throw.
Oh, you should play that.
You'd be a very
Right?
good handball player.
That would be so sick if you like.
There's
had
a
second career
U.S.
as an
team, but
Olympian.
like I want to go and do that.
Yes, you should.
Just throwing missiles.
I think if it was you, Patrick Mahomes, and LeBron, just how many players play in handball? Like 8 on a single time. So if it was
Makes
you
sense.
3 against 8 players from any other country, I think we win.
I guarantee we can put a team together that can win gold.
Yes,
Guaranteed.
I would absolutely agree with that. Yeah,
Okay.
just from pure like arm speed. I don't think guys in other countries are
And just a
throwing
really
like
big
that.
guy as a goalie back
Right.
there. If you watch it, I've studied this from time to time.
It sounds like you're ready to go.
If you watch it, usually all these teams like have an old guy that plays goalie. That's just like he literally, if someone's coming, he just guesses and just throws his hand up.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Sometimes hits the ball, sometimes doesn't.
All right, so you're in for that. All right, my last question, SeatGeek question, promo code TAKE, $10. Go to the Super Bowl. We're going to run this Monday, Super Bowl week.
Okay.
So you're going to lead Super Bowl week, no pressure. The van, do you still have it?
We have a minivan now.
So you got rid of the conversion van.
And went minivan.
Why? What'd you do? Did you sell it?
Yeah, I'll tell you why. Because the kids can get in and out themselves and buckle up themselves in their seats
In the minivan.
in the minivan.
Conversion van, no.
No, you had to help them open the door. You had to close the door. Now, like they can open the door, they can get in, they can press a little button, the door closes, they can buckle up. You know, you
That
say
van was so sweet,
the
though.
van was sweet.
So sweet.
Kristen hated it.
And it had like, it was so sweet.
Wait, did she tell you to sell?
No, she doesn't really care that much.
Oh, we
But
should
she
mention
just
Very
hated it.
Cavallari. His new season is out.
Oh, yeah, it is. It
So
is.
you're a reality television star.
Yeah, I think we were at dinner last night, and like I get recognized now more just for being on a reality show than football. Like the girls come up and they're like, "Hey, love you on Very Cavallari."
That's so cute. Yeah,
I love how
like-
you went into the office and really took charge
Oh, that's
of the
great.
Oh,
shipping.
you fucked those people up.
Huh?
When you showed up as boss.
In the office.
Yeah.
I feel bad for some of those people down there.
They were so scared of you.
Yeah,
there was a
terrified.
few that were like, I've been on the receiving end of that look from you. The maddest you ever were at me was when we were in Montana and we were at a house and there was you could basically tee off. It was like a pitch and putt from the house to about 100 yards away to a little green. And we were playing all day, drinking, hitting balls to the green. And at the end of the day, Jay was out grilling, And I was like, I'm going to help clean up. And I just started fucking firing balls from the green back towards the house. And I almost just sculled him with like 6 golf balls. And he was like, Big Cat, the fuck are you doing? And gave me that look. And I was like, okay, I really fucked up this time. So when I saw their look, I was like, I've been there. It sucks.
I know that.
I absolutely love your guys' relationship where you're like best friends and then you just fuck up royally.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All the time.
At least once or twice.
All the time. Mess up all the time.
Take me back, Jay.
Well, I mean, he's firing golf balls.
Right. That's a pretty big fuck
Mach
up.
3 at me.
Yeah.
And claiming to be cleaning up.
I was.
I'm
I was
cleaning
helping out.
up.
Everyone was helping out.
Get outta
you know?
here.
Some people doing the dishes. I was just shooting golf balls.
Pick him up and put it in the bucket and bring it up here.
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Jay, thank you.
Future quarterback of the New York Jets.
Yes. And recurring guest now. So now you have to come on anytime we ask.
Okay.
So you're going to come on. When do you want to come on again?
I'll be in. When are you guys going to Super Bowl?
You're going to go to Miami?
Just for a couple days.
We're going down that Sunday, I think, right?
Come back on. Yeah. You're
going
going to come to Rough and
in
Rowdy?
the game Sunday?
No, we're going
No.
the Sunday before.
Oh, okay. I'll be there.
As Big J
I'll be
journalists,
there.
we're going to be there.
Maybe Wednesday, Thursday, Friday or something.
All right. So you're going to come to Rough and Rowdy
What's
on Friday night.
Where's
Our
that?
boxing. It's
It's
somewhere
in Miami?
Yeah. We have a fight.
Oh, didn't you guys buy that?
Yeah.
How's that going?
It's awesome. You want to box in it?
No.
Why not?
Can I box PFT?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, you can.
I will set that fight up
you think
right
you,
now.
You think you beat me?
Oh.
I don't,
Kicking's allowed.
We tie.
If we can't kickbox, obviously, 'cause your right leg is deadly.
Dude, it's a gun. It's a freaking cannon down here.
Yeah.
Do you only work out your right leg?
Yeah, I just do calf raises and leg
Whole
extensions.
right side of his body.
All right,
Yeah.
so
All he
you
works
get
out.
that whole right chain.
My right nut is basically down to my knee. My
makes
left
sense.
one's high and tight.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. Well, and then let us know how that A-Raj text goes. You said you could get him on.
I said we can try to get him on. He might hate you.
Aaron, you're listening to this right now. We know
might-
you
he
are.
might hate you. I have
He
no
probably
idea.
does, but that's okay.
Why
Be
do
the
you
bigger
think?
man.
Why do you
and
think he
come
would
on.
hate you?
I've said some things.
Like what?
I don't know. I've always
What's
prefaced,
the worst thing you've ever said?
I've
about
always
Aaron?
prefaced it with he's a fantastic quarterback, Hall of Fame quarterback.
What's the worst thing you've ever
But-
said about him?
He's wished death on him a few times, I think.
Yeah. Not wish death.
That's not bad.
It's not death. It's more like it'd be a real shame if he got injured again.
Yeah, that's kind
It'd be a
of.
real shame if Shea McClellan walked through that door and fucked up his shoulder again. Shea McClellan, fucking all-time bear.
Just for that.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't do much else. What else? He's got a Super Bowl ring.
With the Patriots?
Yes.
I was thinking about that a couple weeks ago. Like some of the guys that I play with, and they go to other teams and they just get rings. I'm
Yeah.
like, this is.
It's bullshit.
How does this happen? What did I do?
Some unnamed source sent me a Shea McClellan like Super Bowl ring picture that was signed by him. And all of a sudden showed up to
say
my.
he's a great dude.
Yeah.
Nicest guy ever, and worked his tail off. So it's well deserved for him.
Right. And
But there are dudes that just go to different teams that are just straight clowns. And you're like, how did you stumble into this?
Yes,
Like
yes.
you guys, obviously.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Classic
We stumbled
example
our
we
way
right
love
here.
those. Yeah, we love those type of guys. All right, Jay, thank you.
Cool.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having me on. It's fun.
Thank you.